Hey everybody, today we're going to look at some applications for data preparation and cleaning, specifically using AI tools built into Gigasheet. This is a use case that we often hear it can be applied in many different verticals, but in this example we're going to pretend that we're an online wholesaler and that we're dealing with multiple retail channels. Often retailers will have their own specific requirements about how the data should be formatted for their online sales or their product portal. So in this case, we're going to look at a product catalog that we have on hand and how we can use AI tools at Gigasheet to do some simple transformations. There are many other things you can do in Gigasheet to automate data preparation and cleaning, but in this case, we're just going to focus on these AI tools. So in this example, we're going to show you how we take an existing product catalog and transform the product name to meet these requirements. Here I've got a relatively small data set loaded in Gigasheet just for example purposes here. But the great thing about Gigasheet is it scales to millions of records or even hundreds of millions or billions as well. Let's dive into it. So the first requirement was that we have product names that were 60 characters max. And if I just take a quick look here, I can see the product name that looks like more than 60 characters. I could check it real quick with this character count function we have under the insert menu. So I can see here, yeah, definitely some of these are over the maximum 60 character length. So what I'm going to do is use ChatGPT and enrichment in Gigasheet. I'll select the ChatGPT enrichment and I'll write a prompt that tells GPT, for each of these products, I'd like you to transform the name to be 60 characters max. I'll click test and it'll run on the first 3 records, and I'm just spot checking it and it looks pretty good. I'll click apply and this will be queued up to run. I can monitor the status of my enrichment here, and for larger jobs, definitely recommend just monitoring your email. So we can see here the results. It's added this column with the response code. 200 means a successful response from the GPT service. I'm going to go ahead and delete that here. And then I can see that I've also got the new product name, and I'll rename this column. I can delete this now. This was the count of the length of the earlier product name. Okay, cool. So now I can see the before and after. So definitely long names here, and then much shorter names here. Let's just double check again using the insert character count. Just make sure GPT did what we asked. So it looks like 2 of these, for whatever reason, did not follow our instructions, but I could easily edit this right here in Gigasheet. So the next task was to create a product description for this that is a max of 300 characters. So what I'm going to do is use the brand name and the original product name that was longer and ask GPT to create a product description. I'll try to improve the prompt this time, and I'll also turn down the creativity on it so that hopefully it won't make that mistake again. So temperature or randomness is a way to control the creativity. So I'll just turn it down quite a bit because I want it to really stick to these constraints. Let's run a quick test and see how it looks. That looks pretty good. Let's run the enrichment and see how it goes. Okay, the enrichment has completed, so let's take a look at what it's added. I'll rename the column again. Let's check the character count. Looks good. So tweaking the temperature definitely seems to have helped. Finally, I want to create 5 bullets for each product. That was another requirement here. So what I'll do is another enrichment. This time I'll pass in the product name, the brand, and the description. And I'll tell it to create 5 key selling points. So I said to separate each bullet with a pipe character, so it's going to add a cell with hopefully 5 bullets on it. We will set this to be relatively well defined again. Let's give it a test and see if that worked. That looks pretty good. Okay, so it looks like the enrichment has completed, and I've got my bullets here. Now, in some cases, it's included a number, so I could rerun this again and tell it not to include a number in the bullets. I could also write a formula that removes that, but probably the first thing that I will do here is drop this column with a response code because I don't need that. So with that, I think we've accomplished our tasks. You could use the split column function to split these into different columns, or you can just simply export the file and continue with uploading to your retailer system. Hope you enjoyed watching, and thanks for checking out Gigasheet.